It is episode 292 of Chair Shot Reality here in the beautiful Point Park University studios in downtown Pittsburgh. Episode 300 is quickly approaching, and this week really some great work was done behind the scenes as we are getting closer and closer to being able to announce what's going to be going on for episode 300. I can tell you it will be Survivor Series weekend, so that's going to be quite the weekend. Also my birthday weekend, so it's going to be
birthday weekend.
Festivities all the way around.
November baby, aren't you?
Eisenberg, LaBar, we got Periscope filming over here. Hello to Periscope. Thank everybody to Ashley who's filming. You can check it out on the WrestleZone Periscope. Josh, let's talk Brock
No,
Lesnar.
that's not good enough. One more time.
Brock
Better.
Lesnar versus The Undertaker. The final stop on the Go to Hell tour at Hell in a Cell at the end of October, Los Angeles. Is this the right decision? Is it the right timing?
It's the right timing because the other timing that was rumored and reported was at WrestleMania 32, and that is not something that you want to see at WrestleMania 32, is another Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker match on the grand stage. I don't like how they delivered the news with a pre-recorded promo of Paul Heyman telling us that the rematch is going to take place in about 5 weeks at Hell in a Cell. I think the match is necessary. I think the stipulation's really good. You saw The Undertaker look physically stronger, and he was able to go a little bit more last time he faced Brock Lesnar. This is an opportunity for WWE to finally finish up this Brock Lesnar-Undertaker feud that's going on close to 2 years. It would drag into 2016. Justin, I think this is a great opportunity for WWE at a pay-per-view like Hell in a Cell. You're going to have other matches like Seth Rollins and Kane. You're going to have John Cena in the U.S. title match. This one sells an October pay-per-view.
It does sell an October pay-per-view, and after the controversy that in the second match, you kind of knew a rubber match was going to take place, and you kind of figured the rubber match had to have some kind of stipulation, so what better than to utilize a stipulation pay-per-view, which quite frankly, I think we can all agree, the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view doesn't always necessarily live up to the magnitude of its name as it should. I agree, I would rather see this now than WrestleMania. The delivery of the news, at first I was kind of a little bit thrown off about it, but at the same time, you nobody surprised with a rubber match, so it's okay that it was just announced. I guess it made that video package that more interesting.
But it didn't make sense to me that WWE is going to put this big match on a big card, what's going to be a big card, and they say to the fans, "Oh, well, here's the main event of Hell in a Cell. It's going to be Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker in a pre-recorded." Why would you not have Undertaker? Why would you not have Brock Lesnar issue a final challenge? Because what that does is there's so much time, October 20th, so they have a full month to make this happen. You can put WWE, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming out the next night on Raw and challenging The Undertaker. That's 1 week. And then Undertaker answers the following week. Now they have 5 weeks of, well, what can we do to build this up to be a third and final match, and what makes it more interesting than just that?
Quick, interesting Undertaker note, going to be working the tour in Mexico, teaming up with Kane, going up against Luke Harper and Braun Strowman. What a learning experience that's going to be, especially for the new Strowman. But, you know, the number one thing I took away from that Go to Hell video promo, and I touched on this at Trib Live Radio, is when you watch that promo, or actually more importantly, when you listen to that promo, it sticks out to me. They make a point to say Brock Lesnar on Stone Cold's podcast in Dallas, and of course Dallas, the location of WrestleMania. Now, on the one hand, I understand they made a point to say Dallas because it's a tour. The whole promo is talking about a tour, talking about New York, talking about Los Angeles, so include Dallas. But obviously, if Taker and Brock are fighting Hell in a Cell, that means both of them now just have open schedules for WrestleMania. Yeah. And it's a very interesting business that WWE could have picked any Raw, basically, for Stone Cold to do his podcast at Brock. It's very interesting.
Dallas,
They picked Dallas because WWE has to... I don't know how many people realize, well, now more people realizing it now. Not many people caught that when that promo came out, but as we get closer and all the stars that are going to be at that...
Yeah, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, this is a big... I mean, they're not going to announce anything.
You can't expect fans to not go, wow, Brock's on Austin's podcast in Dallas after the Heyman, Austin.
Well, and the last thing that I think is very interesting is Brock Lesnar rarely does, I mean, every time that we've seen him outside of WWE television, he's been basically on ESPN promoting things. If you have him on the Stone Cold podcast, people know the history between these two, and people know the history of what, Stone Cold, before he walked out of WWE, why he walked out. That's going to be interesting to bring to light, and I think that's something that WWE really needs to, you don't have to script what Stone Cold asks, but that has to be something that Brock Lesnar fires back to him. What was wrong with you in 2001? Why did you walk out on me? Or 2003, I think it was actually. But that's a great point for WWE to put the linchpin in that little bomb and before it explodes and goes off. That's a great opportunity to do it. And like you said, Dallas, you're going to have a big show anyway. So you might as well end it after Raw ends with Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold.
Well, real quick, final point on scripting. from what we can tell, Stone Cold Steve Austin pretty much gets free reign to do what he wants to do
Yeah.
in his podcast. He doesn't care. He's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, what's he
I'll
care?
be very interested to see if Vince behind the scenes puts any restriction, because if in fact Austin versus Brock is absolutely not going to take place, if it really has no chance of happening, then you got to think that Vince might say to Austin, look, you caused quite the buzz when you and Heyman got into that and you started working last time. We're not going to have this match. I don't want to disappoint fans. Let's not
bring it up.
Let's not poke at it. But if they do bring it up, then you got to think that there's still something out there. I a few weeks ago I thought hope was gone, but now this all of a sudden just makes me think and re-energize.
Well, it would be great, but and like you said, they're not going to announce it, but they can also give you subtle hints as what WWE's been best to do.
Eisenberg LeBar, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Getting ready for episode 300 coming up in the month of November. Make sure you check out the WrestleZone Periscope. You could have saw this whole conversation Thursday at 4:30 as it happened. Again, hello to everybody over there.
Not the cool graphics, though. They don't have the cool graphics.
No,
We're standing in green. That's what's happening.
Again, CSRWrestling.com as well, as we have audio podcasts, blogs, all kinds of great stuff there. You can see we break the show down in little segments so you can get the best of. So we make sure that there's no way that you miss out on what's going on here on CSR. Reality checks, all things Divas, coming up this weekend.